By the way, Kelsey Ramsey, unbeknownst to me, posts a reel on Facebook.
Okay.
Of me continuing to count while you guys are going on
on your fingers.
And she says, counting is hard. Like I'm not trying to come up with words.
That's great.
And I heard multiple people while I'm doing it. I hear them in the audience and they're like, I can't believe he's still doing it.
Welcome to The Cover, where three Hoosier friends judge books by their covers and movies by their trailers.
That's right. I'm Brett, here with my fellow Indiana natives, Remington and Marcus, ready to dive into the stories that keep us up all night and occasionally put us to sleep.
Whether you're a bookworm, movie buff, or just here for the witty banter, we've got you covered.
Each week, we'll dissect a different book or movie, sharing fun facts, hot takes, and moments that make Marcus cry. Spoiler alert, we're not experts, but we're definitely opinionated.
From literary masterpieces to blockbuster flops, nothing is safe from our snarky reviews and wild tangents. Who knew Hoosiers could be this entertaining?
So grab your popcorn and reading glasses because we're about to embark on a hilarious journey through the pages and screens that shape our lives. Or at least our weekends.
You're listening to The Cover. Let's get the show on the road before one of our kids wakes up.
Now he pressed it. Hey, welcome back from the live recording. What a 100th episode. That was great. That was fun.
I enjoyed it. I like hanging out with you guys.
101. We've already planned two more.
I like when I hear people laugh at us.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm funny, but I don't know until people actually laugh at me.
Yeah.
You know, I can never tell if my wife is laughing at me because she thinks I'm funny or because
she's just embarrassed.
She wants to try to get in bed with me.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have that problem as
well. You know
well.
what I'm saying?
Although every time I looked out, my wife was just shaking her head. I don't know what that means.
I think that my daughter's being there made your wife nervous.
Yeah, I bet.
There were a couple of times where she was pointing at us and she's like, "You got kids here."
I did not tell you to take your kids and bring them to the bar.
I wasn't worried about it. I knew what it was going to happen.
I just remember, I remember the whole show, nobody says anything, and then some comment was made, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, kids are here. And I'm like, that's what you picked?
I know.
Why?
Yeah, of all the things we said.
I don't remember, but it was just like, what are you talking about?
I wasn't worried about it.
I'm not. Well, we knew that.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Cover Podcast. We are back in studio for episode 101. I'm your host, Brett Wiggins. And as always, to my left is
Marcus Mengus.
Sitting to my right is Sir
Remington Ramsey.
We answer 9 questions every week about one of your favorite books or movies. Sir Remington, what are we covering?
In this personal account of the People's Temple, Deborah Layton opens up the shadowy world of cults and shows how anyone can fall under their spell. A high-level member of Jim Jones' People's Temple for 7 years, Layton escaped his infamous commune in the Guyanese jungle, leaving behind her mother, her older brother, and many friends. She returned to the United States with warnings and impending disaster, but her pleas for help fell on skeptical ears, and shortly thereafter, on November 1978, the Jonestown Massacre shocked the world. Seductive Poison is both an unflinching historical document and a suspenseful story of intrigue, power, and murder. This book is Seductive Poison, a Jonestown survivor's story of life, death, and the People's Temple. Deborah Layton.
So we're screening a documentary about Jonestown in the background, and I will tell you, adding images to the story in my head changes.
So you didn't do this?
How I feel about it.
You're a minimalist when it comes to prep.
You're the hidden gem prep extra guy.
Yeah,
that's not me.
But Marcus can't. He couldn't handle himself on this one.
Well, this really does.
I didn't watch this specific thing.
No, but I mean, you saw footage and the aerial view.
Seeing the fact that he looks like an Elvis impersonator just changes.
Totally.
It may. I don't know.
What did you picture?
Old kind of shaggy, like 5 o'clock shadow type.
You didn't even know what he looked like?
Nope, had no idea.
Oh my goodness.
So the fact that he looks like
you thought he looked like a hippie.
Old hippie. Old hippie.
Yeah.
There's some really cool pictures in here, actually.
I don't know why. Because he looks like an Elvis impersonator, I was like, oh, he's the weird kid from high school. You should have known.
Yeah.
So you didn't see.
You know what I'm saying? Am
Totally.
I crazy?
I get what you're saying.
You didn't see the pictures in the book, Brett?
Audio booked it.
Oh,
Audio booked it. Yeah.
got it.
You read books with pictures?
Got him. Got him.
But that being said, what I know going into it, absolutely, guys. I didn't know that Jonestown was the Kool-Aid story. I knew there was like
I didn't either.
I knew that you didn't either. Okay,
I was with you. Did you know Kool-Aid? Did you know
yeah, I
what
knew
Kool-Aid
Kool-Aid.
meant?
Yeah, I knew that.
That's all I meant. That's all I knew too.
Yep.
They don't teach it. Do they teach this in school? Like they don't. This isn't mentioned
I
in
have
school,
no
is it?
idea.
I don't think we had a period of cult. I don't think we had like a cult.
I mean, if you think about
coverage.
the largest massacre in American history outside of 9/11, you would think it would come up in school, but I just don't remember it outside, like maybe outside of class. But I don't remember covering it.
It's
in
so
school.
crazy because we should cover this. Like we should talk to our kids
to Deborah's point
about this stuff.
That's why she was kind of compelled to finally write it. Right? Was because
and now she
her
speaks
daughter
at
asked her.
colleges.
Yeah.
I was actually flying. I remember where I was at in the book where she was talking about lecturing, and
Yeah.
I was like,
that's
if
so
she's still
good.
lecturing, I would love to go see her lecture. Like years afterwards, because she describes her very first lecture ever. And how nervous she was, and to not just nervous to public speak, but to share the story that she's about to share that nobody knows. And like now, it's been probably 20 years since that first lecture. I would love to see how she's refined it over time and hear it.
Coolest part about that to me too was that she goes through all these reasons that these people weren't paying attention. Like they close their eyes and they're falling, like these kids are closing their eyes and falling their sleep or saying something to their neighbor or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they come up to her afterwards and these same ones that she noticed were like, yeah, your story was just so vivid that I felt like I needed to close my eyes to picture everything.
Yeah.
You know, or I had to stop and tell something to my neighbor because you know I was so enthralled by what.
Yeah, they give her a standing ovation.
And you know what?
That's
I mean, outside of like what we're about to cover, just in public speaking, like that's an important note.
It's important.
It all
not
depends on
assume.
what your headspace is on the day that you're giving that message. Because for her, it's everybody thinks I'm crazy. Nobody believes me. So that's what she's thinking.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
but after that, it's probably like, okay, now she knows she can have that confidence.
But again, these are lies. These are lies. At least in my professional speaking career, that I think we've all told ourselves is like I used to make the mistake of looking out at a crowd of whatever, and picking the ones that I could like were not engaged or like not impressed.
Yeah.
And try to get them to engage.
make it your mission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the total wrong move. It just made me feel inadequate. They didn't engage, and I felt like it was a failure at the end. I completely changed it to focusing like if there's 100 people, 1,000 people in the room, but I can find one or two that are super engaged, I go back to them over and over. I'm just talking to them, and it changed everything about like the feel.
Yeah.
What do you do when no one wants you there?
Collect my fee and fly home.
I'm about to make twice as much per
All right,
hour.
guys.
I get paid whether you listen or not.
All right, guys. Peace.
Marcus, it sounds like you had the most backstory on this before.
Well, the first time I read this, I was in a class called Sects and Cults in America. Religion professor from college, and we covered this. We covered, just so much that had to do. A lot of cults are very American, and
You'd call cults
What do you mean
an
by that?
American thing? This
like a lot.
It's almost like cliquey religions. Like most nations have their religion, and they're like
they do.
Whereas
But-
we decide to create our own.
But especially that kind of comes out of that time period in the early, late 1800s, early 1900s. There's this whole movement in Western New York. You've got a lot of charismatic preachers who are all preaching about the end times. It lends itself to all of these different branching off of these charismatic preachers who enthrall people with these prophecies of end times that never end up happening. But oftentimes they've got not to this degree, but dire consequences as a result. But I took that class, and I've really honestly been fascinated by, cults ever since. There's an awesome podcast if people want to learn more called Cultish that they've been doing since 2018 or 2019. And man, they go through everything.
What's the value for you spending time, energy learning about that? What is it teaching you something? Is it just interesting for you? Like,
yeah, I mean, I'll just give you, like, you think about, I have a real heart for people when it comes to evangelism. So think about something as simple as like the New Age or New Thought movement, right? Well, one of the very first management trainings that I ever went to, we were shown a video that was super popular at the time. It was called The Secret.
The Secret. Yeah.
You were there, and I watch it, and literally, like, my skin is crawling. And, whatever, 20-year-old Marcus is thinking, this is very, very wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I knew that it was wrong. I could speak to it. I did speak to it. And honestly, some real change happened after that, right? So that's an example of these kind of cults that come out of these movements that if you learn about them and you can speak to them, then you can talk to them on their level. The same thing with Jehovah's Witnesses or Mormonism or even Seventh-day Adventist. These all are masked by these Christian ideas, but they're not Christian. So you've got to be solid in your knowledge of the word, and you have to know where they're coming from, because if you don't meet them where they're coming from, then they've honestly been taught that you're the ignorant one.
Yeah.
And it's just not going to work. So for me, the value is in being able to meet people right where they are and understand what worldview they're coming from.
Man, I love that. Like, that's one of the book ideas I have, is taking modern business cliches or business beliefs through a Christian lens.
Mm-hmm.
Because what they try to do is all the principles. Take The Secret, for instance. The Secret, I'm really writing a note because I thought I already wrote this note, and I'm really annoyed that I haven't. The Secret takes biblical principles and simply takes Jesus out.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So if you look at all these ideas that people think, like, who's really good at it is people who are really close. Like, take a Tony Robbins, who I would argue is not quite there. Like, he doesn't have a personal relationship with Jesus yet.
Yeah.
He's quote unquote spiritual. He's close to God. He prays. And I actually think he wants to believe, but he can't get out of his own way. A lot of these big guys that have all these influence, their biggest issue is the same thing that Jesus told the rich young ruler: sell everything and follow me. They can't do that because their whole identity is wrapped up in them being the center of their own beliefs.
Universe.
Yes.
Yeah. And this idea that, like, our thoughts create things for us, or, whatever. Actually, the Cultish guys have an awesome episode that I listened to about Tony Robbins and about his movement, which is really...
That's an episode of the cult thing?
It is. Mm-hmm.
I need to watch that. You keep talking about the show. I need to watch it.
It's fantastic. Yeah,
What's it on?
It's a...
Cultish? It's a podcast?
It's a podcast. So anywhere that you could find podcasts. But they've got a bunch of stuff about Jim Jones and Jonestown. Because, I mean, in a lot of ways, guys, like, he is the... this is the archetype for how to build a cult.
Yeah.
And
Did
it's
you know
not that every cult comes out of what he did, but you can take him as an archetype and you can say, oh, see, this is just like what Jim Jones was doing.
Yeah.
So as soon as the book was over, I did a deep dive on YouTube, Netflix, everything. So I actually don't know. I'm gonna
like what's from the book.
What's from the book? So did you guys know that there was a person that Jim Jones knew had done this before, and with the Guyanese government?
No. So at the very end, in the afterword, Deborah finds out that 100 years ago,
yes,
somebody did the same thing. I didn't know that Jim Jones knew that, though.
He did.
That isn't in the afterword.
Yeah. He also gets he gets a lot of this stuff from this guy who's called Oh, he was in New York.
Well,
but-
he was Marxist. He goes and becomes a Marxist preacher, essentially, like buying into socialism.
You're
which
talking about Jim Jones.
Jim Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like he goes.
Well, at
to
some
this-
point they make the complete turn of, okay, we're not even going to act like this is a church anymore.
Well,
This
that's
is-
what's interesting. Is like, what are you preaching? Like, you're not preaching Jesus principles to get them there. Like, maybe you start off preaching very loosely Jesus principles,
Yep.
but you kind of take the Joel Osteen approach and do like TED Talks.
No, they just have. They literally just say that they're a denomination of the disciples of Christ. A, for the tax breaks, and B, as a recruiting tool.
But that's when he starts
it.
at People's Temple. He in Indiana, he was a part of another church first. Like, he joins an actual church, but he's a Marxist at the time. That's what's crazy. That's what's really interesting to me. Is like, this is over a 20-year period. Now
Right.
we only learn of like a 7-year period because we're reading through the lens of Deborah, who joins in 71.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But he starts this whole thing by going to a conference, buying into socialism and Marxism, taking it to the church, knowing he can get a big following there. But at the first church he goes to in Indiana, he invites a bunch of black friends, really to rile things up. The white people, the white attendees, basically make this huge deal about it. So he basically starts the People's Temple. So showing how he's on Dr. Martin Luther King's side and like he's of the people and appealing to people who are oppressed, which is, I think, what Marcus brought up
Yep.
in the pre-show. So that's how he
Father
starts it.
Divine. That's who I was thinking of. So Father Divine is who Jim Jones learned from. This guy said that he was God, and he had this socialist message in inner city New York.
Mm-hmm.
And he took this socialist message to build this following, and he lived a lavish lifestyle while everyone else gave him everything because he said that he was God. Well, when he died, Jim Jones started saying,
I'm God.
I am him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
Well,
So he got a lot of these things, but they didn't, they rejected him there, moves, and
To
takes like
California.
12 people with him.
Yeah.
And that's what starts
Got
the
because
People's
it's
Temple.
it's I was Jesus reincarnated as Lenin, reincarnated as
Bab.
yeah.
Well, I think he might have been Bab before Lenin.
yeah.
I'm not sure.
So, but it's just
Yep.
yeah. So and they don't talk about it in the book. Deborah doesn't. She mentions it once. Him maybe taking vacations to like Hawaii.
She didn't know.
Wow.
That's why the book is interesting. That's why
Because it's just her perspective.
it's just her perspective, which is really good for the book.
Yes.
Because once you
It makes
pair
a
that with
better
others,
book.
it makes a way better book, especially when you pair it with what was really going on.
Because but what you guys just shared about him learning from this other dude and doing, the question is why?
Why what?
Why do you want what that dude have now?
Oh, I think he believed it.
Not
I think he went in and out of visions. So he had the big monumental thing when he was at the church in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Is he has a dream that they're bombed by the Soviets. And so he believes that it's a vision, not a dream. And so he starts preaching with this conviction of what to do if that happens. All the meanwhile, he's appealing to especially the black vote because he's getting involved in politics now. And he's basically siding with a minority that will treat him as God. And so Indiana, being as conservative, God love us, just completely rejects him. And he finds out that he can live a hippie commune lifestyle in California by taking the believers with him. So he goes, and you mentioned 12 people
12 people when he went to Indiana.
to Indiana.
from New York.
It was, I don't know what the number was, but it wasn't much, but it was enough to have people completely brainwashed to start brainwashing one or more at a time.
Yeah.
And so, and the other thing is, like, I didn't get a clear picture. You mentioned the book doesn't like cover, like, it's Deborah's perspective. So she finds out certain things, but I could not figure out how, like, the healings and all that were happening. I was like, because, like,
Well, dude, when you claim that many, there's gonna be a couple
There's also
that
no, that's not what it is. I know exactly what it is. Here's what he would do. This is insane. This book does not cover this.
Yeah.
He would drug old ladies with Quaaludes. They would fall asleep. He would have his staff wrap their legs in a cast, wake them up and say, you fell and you don't remember anything, but you broke your leg. Don't worry. On Sunday, Father Jim is going to heal you. And then on Sunday, he would get them all riled up and he would rip the cast off and he would say, dance in front of everybody, you're healed. And they would.
Yeah.
And he would do this over and over again.
Okay.
Which is wild because how many people do you have to buy into the lie?
Yep.
And you can tell from Deborah, like we're going to get into it, but Deborah lies to herself that it's necessary for the movement.
My notes.
And also, I would like to get to my 9 words sooner or later, but also, he kept the truth. Like people only knew as much as he wanted them to.
Right. The truth was Jim's
and no
truth.
one knew all of it.
And there's a
so
phrase,
they might have like suspected it, but no one knew everything.
You got in trouble for questioning the truth, and this is why.
And you reported on yourself if you did question the truth.
No, you reported on yourself if you didn't have anything to report on yourself because you needed to make sure you reported on yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, that's inception.
But he literally knew everything about like all the guests that were coming because he would talk to the people. He would talk to them. He knew that these people were coming,
and then he
would act like, dude. I don't know if you guys have followed Mike Winger at all, the Bible thinker. He's on YouTube, but he's been exposing charismatic guys who charismatic preachers in general, guys
who are getting busted.
Literally would be like using Facebook to look people up and then telling them
things
about their life.
You go up to the hall and put their hand on them and saying, I'm sensing a sister or somebody in your life. And it was just like a Facebook post that they had like a couple weeks ago.
People that are like, and these people have been proclaimed prophets by like Bethel Church or whoever.
I don't know if those two are mixed.
They are.
Those two are mixed?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, that sucks because Bethel's music is so good.
Dude, it's very good. I mean...
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater with Bethel.
I mean,
Listen to the music.
There's some theological issues, however...
I stand by Kanye's album. Kanye's gospel album is great. It really is.
Hey, Paul talks about how lots of people, God uses a lot of people who aren't necessarily Christians to proclaim the gospel.
Mm-hmm. Sure. You've said that. I learned that this year.
Marcus, let's let you get to your 30-second synopsis.
Hold on, you said something about your notes, and I really wanted to hear.
Well, it's in my slam poetry.
Okay, all right.
So there's a phrase that makes what you guys have said as far as people at some point even know it's a lie and they're okay with it.
Yeah. All right.
Jones builds socialist cult that ends with mass grave.
Woo! Mass grave. Close together.
By the way, Kelsey Ramsey, unbeknownst to me, posts a reel on Facebook.
Okay.
Of me continuing to count while you guys are going on
on your fingers.
And she says, counting is hard. Like I'm not trying to come up with words.
That's great.
And I heard multiple people while I'm doing it. I hear them in the audience and they're like, I can't believe he's still doing it. Guys, I'm doing it on the fly and I'm editing myself while doing it.
And trying to listen to us at the same time.
I'm not just counting.
We all do this on the fly. Here I go. Do my best.
Yeah, you do it on the fly.
Slam poetry, here we go. Has there ever been a more accurate idiom for someone being all in than drinking the Kool-Aid? Probably not.
Oh, man.
Oh, wait. All in at gunpoint? A little different, I guess. Did you know that every male on the planet was actually homosexual except for Jim Jones? I've heard of dudes going to great lengths to have sex. That was an all-timer. Creating fake hate mail to create buzz about the People's Temple. Evil genius. Man, why is it always socialism? Every time. Next to the phrase...
Socialism and sex.
Next to the phrase... fear-mongering in the dictionary, you will find a picture of Jim Jones. The closest I ever got to fear-mongering was Y2K. #Survivor. After reading this book, the phrase, the ends justify the means, went from being something I once in a while align with to the scariest phrase I've now ever heard. I didn't take one note from the moment she said the words, if there is no escape, maybe I could shoot myself, until the end of the book. Mm-hmm. It's fair to say, boys and girls, I left this one shook.
Oh!
Hey, you did it.
I did it.
I still don't know what rhymed in the live show. It was all over the place.
it was supposed to be.
I think we were all over the place.
Oh, speaking of which, we haven't mentioned that was a great live show. That was like
well,
2 days ago.
We kicked off the show with.
Did we say that?
The live
We
show.
talked a little bit about
It's
it.
okay.
Oh, cool.
We're focused. It was a great live show. We got two more ideas. We're full speed ahead.
Oh, that's what we said.
We're great.
I
Yeah.
thought for sure that Brett was going to drink moonshine during every episode since his wife said that those are his favorite episodes. But apparently he's not doing that anymore.
Oh, we're not doing that? All right.
It's down there. Rem gave it to me.
All right,
Oh,
sweet.
okay.
What are we drinking tonight?
This is great. Not Kool-Aid.
Not Kool-Aid?
I don't know why we're not drinking Kool-Aid.
Well,
Listen, you know what?
Marcus has respect.
I just...
got
Selective respect?
he's
I
got
thought about
standards.
it. I did. I thought about Kool-Aid or a Kool-Aid tasting drink, which then led me to Jungle Juice, which I thought would have been really perfect and appropriate.
Yeah.
And then I thought, A, I'm not in college and I really don't want to drink that. B, Deborah talks about how triggering it was.
Reverence. And she listens to the show, so that's good. So what are we drinking?
So we're drinking something again that ChatGPT and I came up with together.
Seductive Poison, right?
And we're just gonna call it Seductive Poison.
It is rather delicious.
It needs.
We
Here's
have
what
45 minutes
here's-
left for this episode.
Here's what it needs. Here's what this.
Wait, is it 15?
needs.
How many minutes? How many minutes before cyanide kills you? It's 45, right?
It takes a while.
It varies.
Yeah,
But
45.
yeah.
It would take longer to kill me because I weigh more, probably. Yeah, I don't know. But what we should have put in this that I didn't have time to get was the blackberries at the bottom to muddle it. I think that would have been perfect. So
Yeah.
It's a very good drink.
it is
Very,
good
very
though.
No cyanide. What the phrase that I was talking about? The end justifies the means.
I did
So-
I did put iocane powder in,
Oh,
in
okay.
the drink.
So you talked about like okay, so he gives these old ladies Quaaludes, wraps their leg, and it's like there's obviously people close to the top that know this is going on, and what they kept saying was the end justifies the means. Like it's
You can hear Deborah making more and more concessions. So I don't know what chapter it is, but at some point, like I was like, I don't know if I can finish this book. And then it wasn't bad anymore.
Well,
I mean,
the chapter where she's on the bus is
the chapter where she's
hard
on the
to
bus,
read.
I can't. It's very hard to read. It's she gets attacked essentially by Jim Jones, but like leading up to that, it's just a slow. You think you know what's going to happen, kind of thing.
so you talk about him essentially choosing her to stay after and essentially rape her, but weren't you?
Not essentially.
Well, I was shocked. For some reason in my head, I was thinking she's gonna feel special.
She did.
No, like
No.
not once it turns. Now it's when she
Not the way she described
Not
it.
once she realizes what is going on.
Well,
I genuinely thought she's gonna be like, Father chose me for
Yeah.
the. I did not see that reaction happening.
Well, so
that's
at
when I
first-
started to feel very, very bad.
oh yeah. I mean, the whole chapter, you like, she does not want this. And then.
And it happens multiple
After-
times.
Well, after that is when she she to make herself feel better. She says, "Okay, this is what is necessary." But to make even matters worse, he'll call people out in a group setting and say,
That
"You
they-
did this. You enticed me." Like-
You said that you wanted me, and you said that you wanted sex.
Yes,
And
in front of everyone.
and then they get up and they talk about how like incredible he is, and she says in here how many organisms I had because she
Yeah.
didn't even know
Yeah.
what it meant.
Yeah,
You know,
because she's like what
19.
19 at the time.
Yeah. I mean, I guess she maybe. a
But
little
what's
older than that,
crazy?
but still.
Then there's people that are all saying you're. How could you do this to him? How could da 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 da?
and some of them know
We're in the
exactly
same
what's
situation.
going on.
Yeah.
Like Annie comes up to her afterwards. Annie comes up to her after that when she is forced to say that she did that. Annie comes up to her and kisses her on the head. Like, I get it. I've
Well,
been there.
even Jim afterwards is like,
But they still stay there. They're like,
You-
this is still the answer. So the ends justify the means just happens
Exactly.
over and over again. Like he uses fear by basically saying, hey, you're in this now, and the CIA knows that you're like
dude,
doing
he
these evil
covered
things. So, like,
every single
Yep.
every single angle was covered. And maybe it's learning from Father Divine or whatever you talked about.
I don't think he got all that. I think
Dude,
he took it to another level.
He did take it. He did take
Father
it to
Divine was a preacher that was a self-proclaimed
God.
God.
He said he was God,
but he didn't get people to. All he did was get them to give their money,
and he was like a social justice warrior.
Right. So what Jim Jones did is get people to give their money because he was quote unquote healing people and for the cause
for socialism
and getting them like basically taking them out of the streets and like away from the KKK and all this stuff. Well, even California wasn't like up to par with like what he really wanted with this commune, like total control. He would have people, so girls would go to school. And once it became a part of People's Temple, they would start hanging out with people. Other girls who were at People's Temple would say, why are you talking to them? They're not a part of People's Temple. So they had people and eyes everywhere, even out to the point where like you just stopped doing anything out socially.
Well, if
and
you
spent
tell
all
on
your
somebody,
time at the
if you
temple.
tell on somebody, right, it elevates you within the cult.
Right.
It was
Right?
wild
It helps
how many
build truth. It helps build trust with Jim. Right? Like these levels at which people were devoted to him.
But instantly,
It's demonic. It's demonic.
it is.
Yeah.
Instantly, people like, and listen, I don't want to take away from her saying this could happen to anyone. I'm telling you, it can't. It can't just happen to anyone. Who it happens to is people who literally have no else to turn to, and then they make choices that they know innately are wrong to follow a person. There's always a person at the center of this, especially like if you have any. If you have
I'm
any
gonna push
conscious,
back a little bit in a second.
okay, so what I'm saying is like truth wants to be found. If you're seeking truth, I honestly believe you will find it if you continue to seek truth. Where people get caught up is they have an experience or they feel a certain thing because of whatever life choices or experiences they have, and then they stop looking for truth and they look for validation and they look for people who believe what they believe. And so that's where they get caught. And if you, in the very beginning of the book, Deborah is like talking about her childhood where she was basically the black sheep. She was caught on drugs, sent off to boarding school, happened again. No one liked her, all this stuff. Well, that's what we preyed upon, like the lost sheep.
And her mom actually joins People's Temple in part because of the transformation that she sees in Deborah.
Right. Well, her mom's a whole other issue that makes me so sad. But
It's so sad.
yeah. So listen, I'm not saying, I'm not too proud to say like this stuff couldn't happen to me or anyone else. But what I'm saying is where people get caught up is like making excuses for just stopping and trusting in a person and not God.
I will say that the anyone, okay, but we are in a culture right now that says that truth is subjective.
Right.
And the time that she's growing up, it's Vietnam, it's the hippie movement, it's love wins. Socialism was very popular.
King had just died.
like,
JFK just died.
Very, very popular. Because the world is in strife and people are looking for answers. And if you are not grounded in actual truth, then yes, I think this can happen to anyone.
Right.
Because
We're saying the same thing.
what we're doing is we're seeking out truth, right? We are spiritual beings, and I believe that what was guiding Jim Jones was an evil spirit, right? Literal evil, and which exists, spiritual evil. And so there's possibility that some of the things that he was doing, were like spiritually guided, right? But it wasn't from God. It's from demons.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important that we acknowledge that. It's important that we don't sanitize some of the stuff that happened, because this can happen to a lot of people, and the reality is that truth does exist. Objective truth does exist. You're made. If you're listening to this and you're not a Christian, like, you're made in the image of God. We are all sinners. Everybody's sitting here talking on this mic, right? And we wouldn't be saved if it wasn't for what God did in our lives, and He wants to do that for you too.
Totally.
You know, and so it can happen to anybody. I really do think that.
So
if you're paying attention, we've moved into what made you stop and think.
yeah. So it's been a while.
Sponsored by
It's been a
the lounge. Favorite scenes, hidden gems, favorite quotes.
Well, it's been a while since we covered a book, and I think Brett, you should take us to the breakdown of the book real quick, just like a quick outline, like how the book starts with her childhood and where it goes.
So it starts off with her childhood, like Rem said, kind of the black sheep of the family. Gets sent to boarding school at one point. Her mother's mother escaped Nazi Germany.
No, her mom.
Her mom did.
Her mom escaped Nazi Germany. Her mom and dad have an
Not just
Her
escaped.
mom was in a
she
concentration
in
camp.
A concentration camp.
In a concentration-
Auschwitz.
By the way, she had a
Yeah, there's a cover thread. I'm calling it the cover thread.
they had a Viktor
Anytime
Frankl
there's a
quote
different-
from The Man's Search for Meaning
Yeah,
at the very start of this book.
there's a cover thread. That's the cover thread.
We who have come back by the aid of many lucky chances or miracles, whatever one may choose to call them, we know the best of us did not return.
Mm-hmm.
That's how she starts the book, with a Viktor Frankl quote from Man's Search for Meaning,
shout out,
which
Which
is
we
another
covered.
one of our episodes.
one of the first 100.
Yeah.
So her mom and her dad have an interesting relationship. End up kind of together. I don't know. I don't know the situation there. If they get divorced afterwards, separate. Yeah, they're in separation.
Her dad and mom.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she comes back and then gets introduced to the People's Temple by
Her brother.
her brother Larry is already involved. So she kind of is reluctant, goes to a couple of the meetings, and then at some point is absolutely all in. Continues going to school though.
Well, the catalyst for why she was all in is after the first church service.
Yep.
Jim and he does this for everyone. He goes up to them and spends quality time with them for 2 to 5 minutes, saying specific things he knows about them and saying that they belong in that church, and like
And he
hard
knows everything.
selling them.
Yeah.
And he says stuff. He basically, like you said, almost prophesies simply from discussions he has with these family members, and he's looking
probably
for things.
very talented at this.
Yeah, I mean, he's a salesman. And this is why people don't trust salesmen, because 918 killed themselves in Guyana. So, which is I think
Thanks
is
a lot,
crazy,
Jim.
Which is what I think is crazy about the epilogue or the prologue is she flash forward. Yeah, I'm going to flash forward way because it's in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
She's on the trading floor in New York, and someone says, "Just drink the effing Kool-Aid, Jack."
Mm-hmm.
And she hears this on the trade floor, and it triggers her. And they
Can
had
you
no
imagine?
idea that she was there at Jonestown when it happened. Like, how would you know that? It's
I've never told-
8 billion people in the world.
I've never told this. The only time that's ever happened to me, where it was very similar, was right after Johnny had died.
Okay.
So I think I might have talked about this, but there was a freshman that died in our fraternity.
Yeah.
Right? It was big news. It was all over the news. And I'm doing a Cutco appointment in Carmel.
Yeah.
And this lady goes, "Did you hear about that fraternity that killed that kid?" While I'm sharpening her knives.
And you're for those
she
who don't
bought
know.
at least $650 more.
Well, I just think it's funny.
Rem probably
that
would have sold her $2,000.
Well, I thought that story was going elsewhere. You're sharpening knives, and you hear that.
Oh no! I mean, what am I gonna do? I was like, yeah, that was me. I think that's what I said.
Did you really?
Yeah.
So you actually told her?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh wow.
We had a whole conversation about it.
See, that's good. You didn't just take it, let her believe the wrong thing. Like, you had a heart to like let her know what was real, and you didn't just get mad at her, which I think a lot of people
I
would
was
just.
pretty angry, but
Yeah.
I mean, I get why she thought that because I saw how it was covered in the news.
All right. So anyway, back to like the outline, but I just thought that was fascinating how it starts, because like there's so many layers to this book, but that's how she gets hooked in the church. So now she's in the church.
She's in the church, becomes a pretty valuable member pretty quickly. I don't know.
Should we call it a church?
Yeah.
Okay.
She
I mean, it's a cult.
she gets
Temple.
kind of, I don't know, he sees her value very, very quickly. She gets trusted to travel around. Well, most people are kind of told, hey, you're staying right here, right now. She does a lot of the legwork in America while Jonestown is being built in Guyana eventually. And then at some point raises all the way up to like financial.
She's basically like the CFO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's responsible for moving all this money around, putting it in different
Hundreds
countries.
of thousands.
Millions.
I mean, millions.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars.
But I mean, she has.
They're getting all these
10,000
people's social security checks.
Yes.
Every month.
Yeah.
Every month.
That's what's crazy.
They
to
all
me.
sold their houses and gave him everything.
Yeah.
Signed over everything.
And live in
Because socialism.
So she's waiting for this opportunity to go to what he's calling the promised land in Guyana. And her trip there,
And she's dreaming.
she's
dreaming.
This is
about
the
what it's
worst
gonna be
fire
like.
festival ever.
Oh, yeah.
when I wrote down like what actually
Yeah,
when you
dude.
get to Guyana, like makes Fire Festival look like a joke.
so
Totally.
they get to the Guyana capital, and that's like 250 miles
Georgetown.
still.
Georgetown.
It's still 250 miles away from where
Yeah.
promised land is.
250
and
of jungle.
And it's not nice either.
No.
Right.
So then, and this is after a full day ride at sea. It's tough. And then, finally gets there, and it's just the most disappointing, like, what happened here. And it sounds like before he felt like his back was against the wall and he had to get everybody there, it actually had the makings of, like, this is sustainable. They were building some pretty good stuff.
Well, it was very similar, and we like a concentration camp because like their bathroom situation was terrible. They kept getting diseases and diarrhea. Like they didn't have anything to wipe. Like
Yep.
They
and
brought
they
too many people there too quickly.
Yes.
Yep.
Although they had a lot of money, they didn't spend it. And Jim made everything worse once he got there with his paranoia and everything else. Mark and the others actually talk about how, before he got here,
It was great.
It was actually kind of nice.
Yeah.
It was just us. The bugs were bad, this was bad, whatever, but like it was kind of
So
nice.
the book, again, this was Deborah's perspective, but do you guys know a big chunk of the book happens in America before they get
a
to
lot of it. Yeah.
Guyana. So like we definitely want to go through the chapters and like give our best sayings from it. But do you know why he chose there, the Guyanese government, like why he chose to work with them?
I can't remember.
So the Guyanese government had essentially credits that they were giving organizations to come in and farm their land.
Oh yeah, because it was a farm project or something.
It was a farm
agricultural.
Like they were basically. I'll look for the exact note, but that's what made it a perfect blend because and I kept like in the later chapters when they're like doing this manual labor for no food and just hating their lives.
Oh, yeah.
Sleeping away from their kids. I'm like, why is he even having them work? Just to prove his like power? Well, no. The whole reason they were there is to produce food and agriculture like for the Guyanese government to get this credit. And so like he basically had to create a concentration camp to keep it going. Like I had no idea.
So was that the pressure of getting everybody there as fast as possible to have more workers?
No, there was a lot of pressure
pressure
coming
in the
from
US.
reporters.
Yeah.
and
yeah, I
stuff.
mean the US putting, like basically saying they're going to shut you down.
Yeah.
As they should have.
So she spends, she thinks she's going to be there for, I think, 6 weeks or something like that.
Yep.
And then she realizes, oh no, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And then finally, and she falls from her pedestal many times, and then finally works her way back up to trust and gets to travel. And that's when she starts thinking about this, and then finally,
Well, she doesn't get to. She gets to go back to Georgetown.
yes, back to Georgetown.
like
and she's thinking
The
about
US Embassy.
I need to find a way. Calls her sister, gets this magic plane ticket, but then that's really when the chaos starts for her.
dude.
When she has this.
How do you stop listening or reading this book after that happens?
Well, that's the
I mean,
point
it's
where
like a Jason Bourne movie.
It
Like,
is.
It's like
It is. He gets on the phone. He gets on the phone with her and is just saying the same things. The book is very well written because it keeps saying, like, it has quotes from him that the things he's telling them and it's so sickening to hear the quotes, but he's like, "You're my best soldier, my dear angel." Like all this like very fluffy, warm, sickening language.
All the things she's wanted her whole life.
Yeah, from her parents,
Yeah.
And you don't really want to go, like, what's really going on with you? And then she would almost just like lie and make it up and then follow him, and he's miles away, but she fears that he's got people and the CIA has got people that is after her. So now she's paranoid.
She
and
thinks she's on the most wanted list.
Yes.
Like she knows she's on the most wanted list, even though she's not. Like the FBI is not concerned with her at all.
They do not care who she is.
Well, she tells it to the U.S. ambassador multiple times.
Yeah.
Like, no, the second I land, they're going to kill me. They're going to shoot me.
They're going to
But she thinks the U.S. ambassador, like, it doesn't matter at that point. You think anyone you talk to is in on it.
Not only that, she literally thinks that every white man is evil.
Yeah.
Like every white person
Jim.
who is not in Jim's influence is evil.
You can't leave his aura. There were many things like this. One was he scared them into believing if you leave the church, that's what he called it, the church.
Yeah.
You will come back as the lowest life form possible. So she's imagining all these people coming back around as Beatles, and I'm telling you, we talked about it earlier. He thought
Like the Beatles.
of
That'd be pretty sweet.
every angle. Well, he was a Beatle, right, Lennon?
Love.
That was a joke. That was good, huh?
All you need is love.
That he created fake hate mail to cause these powerful politicians to get their attention, being like, look what's happening to us.
Dude, his political influence. I mean, I had no. I mean, I probably did because I read this once before. But let me see if I can find this.
While you're looking that up, he also would have all these people. It was basically a contest who could come up with the best story about how they would have killed the president or important people. And then he keeps those tapes for blackmail.
Yep.
I just kept thinking.
Tapes, letters, all the stuff.
So even if he plans on using none of it, anybody who thinks about leaving goes, well, I said blanks and I've got nowhere to go.
Yep.
I have to. I've got to figure this out.
Yeah, I mean, that's from Deborah's perspective, why she was paralyzed, why she was just paranoid and paralyzed.
So this is right before they're getting ready to leave. The weeks progressed, and despite Jim's efforts, we were unable to control the press. As I proofed another of Jim's rebuttals, which Carolyn had authored, I was impressed with all of the father's appointments. March of 76, appointed to the San Francisco Human Rights Commission. September of 76, testimonial dinner in Reverend Jones's honor. Guests, Lieutenant Governor, Assembly Speaker, Mayor, District Attorney, former Black Panther, supervisors. October 76, appointed to the San Francisco Housing Authority Commission. November of 76, Reverend Jones and Mayor Moscone have a private meeting with the vice presidential candidate Walter Mondale. January of 77, Reverend Jones hosts citywide celebration of Martin Luther King Jr. birthday and shares the podium with Governor Brown and Chief of President Carter's transition team. February 77, elected chairman of the San Francisco Housing Authority Commission. March of 77, Reverend Jones and Rosalind Carter sit together at the head table of the Democratic Convention dinner.
Yep.
I mean,
all the meanwhile, he's planning on going to Jonestown. So he really is crazy.
Well, you know why they all let him do all that stuff, right?
What do you mean?
Because every one of his people was going to not only vote the way that he told them to, but he was going to be able to go out there and have an entire army that's telling other people to vote that way as well.
Not too different from California today.
Well, I wrote this down, and I think it's important as a note. Social justice, socialism, and reincarnation. Okay? And I get that you may or may not see how reincarnation fits in there, But when you put the three together, there was almost no way that this didn't end in mass suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And you see it from the very beginning of his message, at least the way that Deborah frames it. She does a fantastic job of setting the whole story up.
Yep.
But if you know what you're looking for, a lot of the language that Jim Jones uses, like, just pick up the book. I'm not going to tell it to you all today. Like, pick up the book, but a lot of the language that he uses is stuff we hear today.
Yeah.
And it should scare us, right? Especially along the lines of social justice and then socialism. Many people in the millennials, or we're all millennials, but millennials, Gen Z, Gen Alpha to some degree, are interested in socialism and what that would mean because of the chaos that they see. We've been here before. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. And then you add this idea of reincarnation and that you're going to come back. Well, if you're convinced that you're right, number one, convinced that everyone else is capitalistic and they're wrong, and that they're all coming after you, well, all of these people, if you go to the cultish, this is where I listen to it, the podcast, you can literally hear the audio of all of these people who are drinking the cyanide-laden Kool-Aid. And they're saying, thank you, Father, for all these things that you've done for us and for socialism and for showing us the way. Where I can't think of a better way to go out than this. They're convinced that they're coming back as something bigger and better.
Mm-hmm.
And that they're going to realize the true socialist utopia that's going to exist at some point in time.
But here's my question: is what is that? What is that? Because I mean, you mentioned before, like, out of the 918 that died, 300 of them, by the way, were minors.
Kids.
Were kids. So that leaves 600.
Many of them killed.
A big chunk.
They didn't take it themselves. They were killed.
Correct. I mean, all the kids, basically. The 600 that are left over, a big portion of them were black, who were running away from the social injustice that was happening. And then you also have the Vietnam hippies, a lot of people who were evading the war. So that's who. What are they expecting to come back as, by the way? Like, you're leaving this to come back as Jim, like a middle-aged white preacher? Like, what are you hoping for?
I don't know. I assume you're coming back as something that's more enlightened.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta drink a lot of Kool-Aid to get there. I'm just saying. Okay, so here's a quote from chapter 3. Thank you, God, and thank you, Jim.
Yeah.
It's easy to spot when the pastor takes credit. And here's the question I wrote down. Could any pastor pull this off again? And why is it Stephen Furtick?
No.
Tell me I'm wrong, though. So, listen. I think if you look at Joel Osteen, I think everyone thinks he's a great pastor. The ones who go to his church think that they're going to get rich and have, good lives if they do what they say, they says. I don't know that he's leading a lot of people to Christ with his messages and when he leaves out Jesus' name or in Jesus' mission, but okay. But when you look at people like Furtick, and I'm just going to call him out because I'm watching him tour the country, where he comes out at his own concerts with fireworks and like people screaming his name and stuff.
Yep.
And he's not refuting and saying pretty crazy things on stage about, quoting I am God, and maybe he's quoting scripture, but he's letting it be muddled. He's letting people think that.
And he knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. Like, when you take any praise as a preacher, which is the total opposite of Jesus' message.
Soli Deo Gloria, right?
So
to God be the glory.
I'm not saying he's going to lead a bunch of people to Guyana, but
he could.
The equivalent of it. And
there's a present day version of everything.
Don't you think he could?
I think he could.
Yeah.
I think he could. If he changed his message, I think people would follow him because he's at the center of his own message.
So at what point does it and I know, like, for instance,
and if I'm wrong, email me and tell me how I'm wrong.
There's lots of these cults that are still going on and very active right now, like today. And that's the stuff that cultish covers. So
So
highly recommend.
so at what point do you feel like because I don't know. I feel like at some point it's a preaching the gospel, preaching the Bible, whatever, and then at some point it's well, I think socialism is it, so it becomes now it's for Jim, it's that, and then at some point it's I'm God, and at some point it's like, well, I'm gonna let them think that, and then I feel like it's like at some point, no, he believes it. Do you think there was a decision made?
No,
do you think it was?
I actually think
it was
he
a
believed it.
drunkenness of
No,
it.
I don't think he believed it at first. So like at first he adopts a black kid, he adopts an Indian kid. He's got a blended family. They're known as the Rainbow Family in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
So far, nothing on stage or in his actions is wrong in Indiana. But what's wrong is his ideas behind why he moved there and what he was trying to do. So the inspiration that he takes from New York is these socialistic principles, these Marxist principles. But he knows that by going to Indiana and doing these things and getting people's attention the right way will enable him to like kind of impose his own ideas.
Since we covered Fever in the Heartland, would you say it's eerie how similar that playbook is that he's using? Because he's propping themselves up in a higher way.
It's very
similar to the Grand Dragon.
Yeah, the Grand Dragon preyed on he preyed on poor preachers.
Yeah.
Poor people who were, misrepresented.
Fear. He used fear.
Total. Like,
right?
I mean, so now he's in Indiana. He's doing all the right things. He's getting all the right people, but he's still getting pressures, and he's not able to get people to, quote unquote, drink the Kool-Aid because he's in a state of being where like people just don't accept the commune hippie lifestyle. So now you go where people are like going to multiply quicker.
There's also less black people in Indiana, just in general.
In the 70s, in the 60s.
Even now. I mean, it's just not.
Than California?
Yeah.
Okay. So, right, because so then he goes out to California. I think that's when, as you start, it's kind of like people getting likes on Facebook.
Yeah.
You start to post something, and you just want to post a picture of you and your friends, and all of a sudden, like, it gets attention. And you're like, oh, I get attention when I post these kinds of outfits, or in these cities, or if with on the beach they really like this, and if it's for girls, it's way worse because now you just got to take off a little bit more clothes, you get more likes. So then now you become again the center of your own universe.
Yeah, the more clothes I take off, the less likes.
Right? Yeah, it doesn't work for you.
It's not. Doesn't.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. But you learn.
You don't have enough.
I like it.
You don't have enough chest hair.
You learn. Rem likes them. Good.
Yeah, I like it. Thank you. I tap the heart.
I really wouldn't have made it. By the way, he didn't like guys that had chest hair or facial hair.
Yeah, because it made him.
I really would have.
Well,
not
didn't she say
been the
he
Jim
like
Jones
glued
guy.
on something at some point, or he had facial hair?
He couldn't grow facial hair. In
Yeah,
the same
so
way.
he had it like drawn on.
You know what's left out in the book, and every time I did the research, I was like, I thought I read somewhere that he like was gay or something like that. He had. The book just doesn't mention this, but every documentary talks about how he had affairs with women and men.
And men. That's most of the cult leaders. They're just like
They're trying to
with sex.
They're basically trying to destroy relationships so where
Correct.
they don't rely on each other in the marriage, they
Yep.
rely on Jim.
That's it. That's exactly it. It's more about control than it is about even the sex itself,
Yeah.
right?
Look at Nate's face right now. Did you read the book?
I read the book and said nothing about it.
He wasn't. It doesn't matter if he was. Like that's not the point. It was the control. It was
Right.
the way that sex.
It was this how.
But
this
to
is how I
Brad's point,
ruined this.
he was intimidated by men. He was.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What are they wanting to come back as? On the reincarnation question, in which it all ties in here. This is like the very first time, or one of the first times that she talks to him she said, "Could that be reincarnation?" Yes, the minister seemed to say to me. Those people who cannot commit more than their own personal journey, those who do not give of themselves, will come back as lesser organisms. Yes, they will return again and again until they learn through the centuries of lives that giving is greater than receiving. That doesn't sound like a terrible message on the surface.
Right.
Giving is greater than receiving.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really,
It's all contextual.
Christ says that, right?
Yeah.
But this idea that you're going to keep coming back over and over and over again.
This is my point. So you brought up The Secret earlier.
Yep.
Cults, like there's not new ideas. There's just new ways of explaining it.
Totally.
The Bible is so deep and covers everything you will ever need to know pretty much about anything. And people want to be known for quotes. They want to be legendary. And you can see this in every other religion that's been established, is they will take an idea that is a good idea, take Jesus out of it, make it their own idea, and then now all of a sudden you've got a cult and you've got bad ideas. Because at the center of everything is why we were put here. And if you take out that reason, we are the reason we were put here. And so it's just the same ideas with the wrong why.
Yeah. Can we talk about, like, once they get there, they're in this, they're working like crazy hours, and then they come back. They can't really shower or anything.
Mm-hmm.
They're living side by side, essentially. And then they have these white nights.
Yeah.
Tell us about the white nights.
1, 2 a.m. There's 50 guards that show up. The sirens are blaring.
Reminds me of the discipleship walk.
No clocks. Don't worry about what time it is. We won't tell you the agenda. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it,
I mean, a little cultish.
This is why people, you know.
you come back and
Raise an
people are like,
eyebrow.
"What was so great about it, dude? You just got to experience it.
You just
You just got to do it yourself. You got to go."
Can't talk on the first night.
I mean, that's kind of awesome.
All right, so Jim, essentially, this is a trial run for Cyanide Night, and it is a hey, the mercenaries, they're coming to get us. Mm-hmm. We're staying up. I think what happens is he has a bunch of his own guys go in the jungle and shoot off.
He does
guns, so they think people are coming. And it's like a test run for, hey, this is it. This is the.
And those guys don't know that they're doing that so that he can do this. By the way, that's the crazy thing, is he's controlling, like, keeping up all the lies is really impressive.
My note on that is,
but if you don't care, and you have people, crazed enough, you can just keep on lying and make it deeper and deeper. But eventually, you have to kill everybody.
Yeah.
That, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's the eventual.
Yeah, and it's he's got them to the point where it's like, I don't care if this doesn't make sense. I trust Jim.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many times it happened, but the important thing here is during a lot of these, they would all drink the Kool-Aid,
assuming this is
they
it.
were
I'm
going
gonna
to die.
Yeah, and he was basically just testing over and over again who actually believed.
He was
Which, by the way, do 600 of them, adults, drink it the time that they actually do die? If he doesn't do all of those white nights, probably not.
No, here's
I
the
don't know.
thing.
At
It
that
starts
point,
off as once a month, then it becomes like
it's once a
every
week at the end.
They gave it to all the kids first, and like everybody's dying while the rest of them are taking it.
Yeah,
and they're all going up to the microphone. It's the worst. It's one of the worst.
I don't think I'm
things
gonna listen to that part.
It's one of the worst things I've ever heard, because people are going up to the microphone and they're thanking him and talking about socialism and talking about the cause, while kids are screaming and crying in the background, dying of cyanide.
Yeah, and if you haven't, and you have a weak stomach, or you just don't want to be subject to this, the YouTube videos, like the news press conference, the Channel 8, Channel 13, everyone who's flying over this shows an aerial view of just piles of bodies, and it's dead kids, and it's just super sad.
The note I made on your point, Marcus, was too many layers of communication and trust should be a red flag.
Yep.
It always.
Yeah.
Always. You know, in general, being able to share openly is a great leadership trait.
Yeah.
Right? Just being able to be open and honest about things that are happening. It's becoming even more popular now amongst a lot of the business owners that I know to just share with their employees. This is the way what you do impacts profits. Here's what our profits were this last year.
But not only that,
right?
taking feedback and asking questions. Like, Christianity is the only leading major religion that is okay with you questioning everything.
Correct.
Every other one frowns upon it. And that's what leads to, I mean, you can make an argument that some of the religions are just massive cults. And so
they are.
So here's my point is like, if you're in a church or if you're in a setting where people get mad because you're questioning things and you're just trying to get deeper to the answers, not being combative, but truly asking, you're in the wrong church. Like,
yes,
you need to find one that like encourages truth seeking and encourages like getting deeper. And ultimately it's up to you to dig in and surround yourself with people who are also seeking truth.
You're going to have doubts. And if you're not able to bring those doubts to the table without being ostracized, you're in the wrong place.
Right.
You are absolutely in the wrong place. That's really good, Rem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's the way they control you, right? Is making you feel bad about your doubts.
Right.
Which you're going to have.
Yeah.
You are going to have.
If you have a weak stomach, chapters 4 through 6 is where you just get sick. I just have so much nasty notes. Now I hate them. Such evil. These are all my notes.
It's evil incarnate. I mean, it's
now
evil.
Here's what's interesting. So here's what I wrote down, though. She hated all the other girls until she was in their same position. Why is everyone putting up with this? Is it miracles? What are they getting out of this at this point? I can see it maybe initially, but after this, it's just pure insanity.
It's fear.
Yeah.
Fear. He's
none of them can trust each other. Only Father can be trusted.
Yeah. It's fear. It's nowhere left to go.
But that's the thing. If he's the perfect one and everybody else is bad, then like, why would you trust anyone else?
Right.
It does ease up a little in chapter 8 because we're getting kind of heavy, and I do have a funny note. This is good.
It does ease up, but 4 through 6 is tough.
4 through 6 is tough. Decided to eat. So she's out, I believe, with her mom, and they both have $10,000 cash on them.
Yeah, right before they go.
Right before they go.
So whenever they would be sending people to Jonestown, they would
stack
strap
cash,
$4,000, $10,000,
which ultimately just went to Jim.
Yep. Yeah,
Like,
they put it through
Dude, all of her cancer medication.
Yeah, no, we'll get to that. So she's with her mom. They haven't been living lavishly because they've been giving all their money to People's Temple and to Jim Jones. But she's rising the ranks, and now she's like the CFO. She's got $10,000 cash. They go out to eat, and they decide to eat a $100 meal simply because they have $10,000 cash on them. And
she knows exactly how much money's in the bank.
My note was, I've been there. And I remember a couple episodes where you talked about, like, when we were 21, 22, before we had a family, we're making stupid cash compared to, like, the average college kid made, like, $2,000. We were averaging between 10 and 20 and sometimes more in some of these summers.
Yeah.
Where I was paying off a lot of my school debt. But also, you had a lot of cash.
Yeah. I probably should have paid off more school debt.
Nobody spends money like a 20-year-old who just got a $10,000 cash.
Dude, there were like 3 weeks in a row in the summer of 2009 that I think I got. I'm trying to do the math here. It must.
You don't have to share the number. It was a lot.
It was a lot because we got weekly paychecks.
Yeah.
And I
sold
would
a lot
just
of knives.
pay for everything for everyone.
Yeah.
So dumb. The dumbest thing I could think of.
Never played so much flip card. I'll tell you what, though.
Oh, flip card was so fun.
Flip card in your mid-30s when you're eating at steakhouses with your friends and their wives. A lot worse. A lot worse.
Still fun.
Still very fun.
The difference is now I have no issue being like, I'm good.
You don't do it?
No,
you
I'm
don't
good.
play?
Versus then it's like, you can't.
You can't not.
You feel like I gotta be one of the guys.
You're such a party pooper.
We
Man.
were also drinking at like college bars for $2 drinks.
You're still such a party
It's
pooper.
all scale. It's all scaled.
Yeah. I think the adrenaline rush alone playing flip card is worth it.
Flip card is great.
Hey man, how many times did you lost?
I don't know, a few.
Yeah, man, remember Chris?
Dude, that was the funniest.
Yes. That was great. Don't play. Hey. Don't gamble.
Don't gamble if you're not willing to pay for it.
That's the point. That's the point. He was
now
doing.
we feel bad for you. Get out of here.
He was like, I'm not going to be able to pay for dinner.
He was doing math in his head. It It was great.
Well, the best part about that was
Cigar lounge, right?
The best part about that, and we're not telling the story here, but is that he was part of the problem. He had ordered a drink and he had no idea how much it cost.
Oh yeah, it was
his drink was like $40 or $50.
Oh, it was more than that. It was top shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had no clue because he just said, "I'll have what he's having." And so it just increased the bill significantly. And there's 12 of us, 13 of us there. And
yeah,
man.
It's solidified.
Cigar bar, not the place to order it.
It solidified Drew as being the gentleman of the group. I'll tell you that much.
Well, that was.
But I think Drew had already told
it was
the waitress he was going to do that.
He had planned on paying for it, but the point is...
But that flip card game was the best flip card game we've ever done.
It was great.
There was half of us that were like, "Yeah, I can handle this," and there were half of us that were like, "If this goes down, I'm screwed."
The worst part is if you make the wait. So some people play it. You all put your card in a hat or on somewhere, and then the waiter or the waitress picks it. But the problem with that is now you hate the waiter and they don't get a good tip.
Also, the layers to flip card.
Oh,
there's
the
waves.
rounds.
Yeah. There's waves of people breathing.
Yeah.
Hey, let's make sure we get to your most important notes here. What would you be sad about if we didn't get a chance to talk about?
Well, we talked about the mom. So the saddest one of the saddest
mom is
parts.
The saddest.
So picture this person. So she's so, I don't know if ashamed is the right word. She's so moved by her past and so wanting her daughter and her kids to have a different life that they don't even know they're Jewish.
Right.
She finds out she's a Jew the day she flies out to Europe.
Yep.
Deborah.
Yep. Her mom knew she was a Jew because she was in Auschwitz.
Yep.
So she escapes a concentration camp, comes to America, is looking for answers, finds People's Temple. So this is the life this person has lived. In Poland, in a concentration camp, in the U.S., People's Temple, goes to Guyana and eventually dies in Guyana following a socialistic
because
dream.
her leader, and by the way, dies a very, very painful death because she's got cancer and her leader took away all of her pain medication.
Correct. So she doesn't actually, what's interesting is they find out she died a week before they took the Kool-Aid because she died of natural causes, which ended up being cancer because she wasn't getting treated. Because when she flew down there, they confiscated all of the drugs and he was just doing the drugs recreationally.
One of the things that he says to... Oh, it's the rain.
It's rain.
Oh, it's raining. That's loud rain.
I thought Nate was ripping them over there.
One of the things that he says to her...
Oh.
One of the things that he says to her at the very beginning is, "Your safety is what concerns me the most." And I only caught that, I think, because I was rereading it today to just put some notes down. But think about that.
Who's
Jim Jones,
the mom or
Jim Jones says this to Deborah.
Okay.
But you know he's saying it to everybody else. I'm concerned about your safety.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about your health. I want you to be in my aura for these reasons. And he's taking away. He doesn't want people going to doctors. He's taking away their medication. He's literally stealing from them all of these things. And their safety and health is not his concern. And it's just sickening. And that mom, I mean, and not only that, dude, but like she actually loved her husband and they end up being divorced.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he wouldn't get on board.
Because of Jim.
Yeah.
She gives away this piece of art that had been in their family in Germany forever as a bribe.
Yeah.
Right?
For the ambassador? For
some politician in California.
Yes.
Right? Some congressman or something. That he's like, hey, Jim's like, hey, if she could give that away, that would be really helpful because he loves that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And she does it. I mean...
So you guys are right. By the time it gets to the with 30, if you're listening to it, 30 to 25% left of the book is just he can't stop.
No.
So they're in Guyana, and I've got a bunch of hidden Jim type notes, but Jim would have the children living with different parents. or just off by themselves, but he would not let full families live together. And they willingly did this because essentially a broken family meant that they would have to rely on him
Yes.
to see their kids. And so
Yep.
he would say it was for their own good. Like, that's the quote that I kept writing down. It was like, it was sad that the children couldn't. This is Deborah's quote. I thought it was sad that children couldn't live with their parents, but it was for their own good. So this is what she's saying, not Jim.
She believes
She's believing it and now saying it to herself.
Well, that's because that's what that is socialism. That is Marxism.
This is for your own good.
Like, no, it's important to know, like, that, like, familial ties are dangerous.
Yes.
Love is dangerous. It's the collective that matters the most. And then you put on top of that there's always the oppressed and the oppressor. Well, we're going to take all of that away because it's all just one big collective.
Yeah.
And that message, I understand how it, like, appeals to people, but it is devastating in its consequences. What's really crazy about the kids to me is did you hear any of the songs and stuff that these kids choirs used to sing?
Yeah, they went over one of the songs at the embassies.
They would play basketball, they would sing these songs, they would sing these songs about their father. You know, their father's not God, their father is Jim. But everybody thinks because they're a church, the father is God.
Well, what's interesting is they would get visitors, right? So, like, before the congressman, so the big event that everyone knows about is the congressman who comes to visit.
Yeah.
And is basically exposing them with cameras, and they're about to fly home.
This is after Deborah leaves.
Makes
it out.
The night of the day of the killing, the day of the massacre. Essentially, the congressman is flying out. I think there's, 20 people with him.
Around that, yeah.
He
12 to 20.
He sends his small army out to kill him, like shoot him up. A handful of people survive that. While they're doing that, they're playing it over the radio to show, like, this is it. Like, they're coming, they're attacking us. They don't say it's the congressman. They just say they're attacking us.
Well, because when those guys came in, they gave, like, there were people, like, passing them notes and things saying, we want out.
Right.
And there were some people that went with them.
They took some of them, yeah.
And what's crazy is Jim, even then, is like, did you see the people that left? You know? They were all the white people.
Yeah.
They were all the white people that left. Like, when you hear the audio of it and he's talking about it. Because he was so ingrained in this message and everybody really believed it.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, while he's doing all of that and going to have them all commit suicide, he sent an army to go kill these people.
Well, he sent Larry, Deborah's brother,
who's the only person who ends up in prison.
Right, who acts as a somebody who wants to leave, and then go, and then he becomes one of the only people to actually.
He's the only person
serve time, right?
Yeah.
It was just, what's my next move to manipulate this situation?
Well, to that point, this is where my notes were going, is before the congressman came, a couple other groups over time, I mean, they were there for like just over a year.
Yeah.
They would bring visitors, and what happened was these guys got soup and like an egg a day.
Yep.
Not even an egg.
But it was rice for breakfast.
Old people.
Rice for breakfast, rice soup for lunch, and beans. I do think beans.
But they couldn't grow. They tried to grow American.
They got egg on Sunday.
They tried to grow American food on the soil, and the soil couldn't take it. So the only things that they could grow were what they were feeding them, unless they were importing some stuff. But Jim ate it all, and he would keep it in the fridge, and only his kids could eat it, and created resentment because Deborah got to visit. Well, what's interesting is they would have people working like dogs, except for when people would visit.
Yep.
So when people would visit, they put on the show, much like the Nazi Germany, where they would clean things up.
It's exactly what it reminded me of.
But here's what's crazy, is she said, we actually were happy and excited when they visited
because we
got food and we didn't work very hard.
Yep.
So it was genuine, joy on our faces, and everyone thought that's what it was all the time because we were happy.
And so
like,
it's
how
like,
wild is that?
Well, how
That's
bad?
crazy.
How bad could this really be?
Yeah.
And
And
then-
probably
and
in the
then
back of their heads are like, well, if it's like this is pretty good.
Yep.
And then the fear of,
Yep.
this.
I know
So-
too much. I'm going to be killed.
Yep.
One other final note is just how despicable he is to the end. He has 900 people either shot, which is very few, but some of them had to be shot if they wouldn't do the cyanide. He had kids injected with cyanide that wouldn't take it. Everybody else did the cyanide, and he had someone shoot him.
Yeah, his assistant.
He couldn't even shoot himself.
Couldn't even take the cyanide himself.
He couldn't take the cyanide. He couldn't shoot himself. He couldn't be the one that committed suicide. Like, come on, man.
Coward.
That's worse than Grandpa Joe.
And there's some.
We got a new number one.
That is interesting.
I'm just saying it right
rank
now.
The villains. I've been saying
I'm
we
just
need
saying
to
it
rank
right
the
now.
villains.
That's worse than Grandpa Joe.
Might be worse than Jenny. We'll see.
Is it worse than the Grand Dragon?
I think it is.
Ooh. I feel like there's a point of
I think he killed more people.
we don't need to. Do we need like? Is there a point where it's like
Evil is
so
evil.
far down?
Evil is
There's
evil.
no ranking. It's
Yeah.
just 1A, 1B.
Circle.
You pick. Yeah.
Dante's
probably.
Yeah,
Inferno.
ranking evil people can get.
Yeah.
Did you guys listen to the
Dangerous.
Zipcast today about Dante's Inferno?
I did not.
I listened to Zipcast today, but Dante's Inferno.
You clearly
was-
didn't listen.
That was a book report. There
Huh.
was a section of Dante's Inferno.
Huh.
Maybe we get the different.
Were the girls that did the joke of the week very emphatic?
joke of the week was a little boy. So maybe we get a different.
Oh
Zipcast.
no, we got a different one then. Yeah, dude.
They've been customizing them.
Let's
more
say
and more,
there's
so.
there's some pirates and some buccaneers, and the buccaneers steal the pirates' pee. They were irate.
Yeah. That was last week's. So maybe you're a week behind.
No, man, it just popped up on mine this week.
Oh.
Yeah,
Interesting.
maybe. Do you guys, your school costs more money? You're a week ahead. You get the early access.
Yeah, man.
If you pay per day, it does cost more money to go to Classical Academy.
All right, quick one hitters. So
Just
the
making a
the
point
boo
there.
box, or the isolation box, reminds me of the boo box from Hook. Did we do Hook?
We haven't done Hook.
You know what I'm talking about? The isolation box. They put them in the box. They put them like all these creepy
Yes.
crawly like scorpions or
Yes.
whatever. They would put a boa constrictor around the
Yes,
neck of people
around-
who disobeyed.
Dude,
Mm-hmm.
the guy's son is the security that puts the boa constrictor on him. He's like, "You're embarrassing me. Stop
Yeah.
whining."
Yeah.
To his dad.
Yeah.
Which is, to your point, the familial ties are over.
No,
Like,
it's
Jim's
done.
my dad.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Who's your daddy now?
dude,
Who's your daddy?
the
Gary?
originator.
The Learning Crew, a punishment group that you were sent
Oh,
to
dude.
relearn. Everyone told on each other. Chapter 15. Couldn't fall asleep around others because she taught. So she's on the
she
run.
was talking
Talked
in
in
her
her sleep.
She's on the run.
Yeah.
And she was too afraid to fall asleep because she talks in her sleep and she thought she would give up her own plan. So literally she's sleep deprived trying to run away.
Well, no. She wasn't on the run.
She was in the embassy.
No, she was.
This was in
no,
Georgetown.
This was
doing
no.
the radio show or whatever.
So she in Georgetown, but this first happened when she was traveling around with
Annie.
One of the girls. You're right. One of the girls. Yep.
I can't remember who she was traveling
Maybe
around
Carol.
with, but it wasn't Carolyn. But she was traveling around Maria. I
Doesn't
don't know,
matter.
to do all the finance stuff.
Yeah.
And she had these thoughts in her head
Yeah.
about leaving at that time.
Yeah.
And she was scared that she would talk in her sleep because she'd been told before that she talked in her sleep.
Chapter 16, the plane took off without her because of the freaking customs agent.
Oh my gosh.
And it almost happens again.
And
How is this not a movie?
Oh, for sure. For sure. This is, I actually think I wrote this
like,
down. This
book
is so
should
crazy.
be a movie.
This is the kind of fiction that you'd be like, this is too outlandish to be like. It's too unbelievable.
So I wonder if they've gotten to how to end it,
dark.
and they struggle because.
The end is she survives. Like she gets out. Like
okay, so
the story is
solely
from
about her.
Oh yeah.
I think you make the movie
The movie has to be the book. It has to be from her perspective.
What a fantastic like title even.
Yeah, I mean the whole project's amazing, and you're right. It should be absolutely. Now, the note from Annie at the end is crazy.
So you're talking about her affidavit?
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
Do you want to look it up?
Do you know the?
I mean, it's long. Do you want numbers? Do you want the bullet
Yeah,
points?
maybe we don't read it, but
You can't read it. It took her 13 minutes to read it on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I read it twice as fast, so I didn't. Like Marcus sleeps twice as fast. I read twice as fast.
I need to try that again. It'd be helpful.
Sleeping twice as fast?
Another hidden gem. He would broadcast at the end near 6 hours a day, including at night when people are trying to sleep.
Yeah, dude.
He would just he would preach for so back when he was even in California, he would preach for so
like
long.
all day.
He had a urinal at the pulpit.
Yeah, dude.
Well, that's what Carolyn talks about.
The girl would come up and empty
She would
it.
empty it. And so that's where kind of like if you ever seen Foxcatcher, like everything's really happy-go-lucky. This billionaire's spending all this money. It's all great. Like we're giving you great living facilities. And then there's a part in the movie where all of a sudden it completely takes a turn. You don't see it coming. All of a sudden they're like the guy who's supposed to be like the Christ character just starts doing cocaine. And it's like the whole movie gets super dark right in that moment. That's kind of like the moment. And obviously this whole book is dark, but at the beginning they're talking about this preacher who's adopting kids and everyone's following. Then all of a sudden, and you're also talking from Deborah's perspective where this guy really loves her and he's being very sweet. Then all of a sudden, just randomly, he comes up to her and says, I wanted you when you came up to the pulpit.
I know.
And that's it. And that's when, like, as the reader, your heart just sinks and you're like, oh no. That's like chapter 4.
Yeah, you know what's coming.
Same chapter, you find out like he's peeing at the pulpit, which is almost like some people are making that like to be admirable. Like you just keep going, but like it's like that's pretty messed up.
What do you think? What? Man, he really had to have. I just can't get around him believing all of this. Like it had. I don't see any other way around it. It couldn't have just been manipulation. It couldn't have just been evil. Him knowingly do it. He really
Why
had
not?
to. I just there's not an amount of willpower to trick yourself.
So I think you believe that. I think you believe that because he kills himself. But there is a theory. He had a trip booked to Russia, and there's a theory that he wasn't actually supposed to get shot. So like she had the wrong gun, she didn't understand the orders or something.
And all this money that was left over.
And all the money was going to be sent to Russia and he's going to escape and live there. And so that it's worth looking into, but like picture, 20 years of just stacking fat checks. And all of a sudden now you've got 10 to 20 million waiting on you and you kill off the only people who have anything to say. And now you're escaping to Russia under a different name, and
so
you made all that money.
You think he was potentially murdered, like not on his own call? Do you think that's an option?
I didn't do enough digging, but I just know that like there's theories that say like he wasn't actually supposed to be shot. Either the person didn't understand, like he wasn't actually supposed to shoot him, like you're just supposed to make it look like it. There was supposed to be blanks. It was the wrong gun. Something, because there was a trip booked to Russia in his name.
It was over though.
Well, but to the point, like it was over for them. It was the jig was up.
Yeah.
But that would change. Let me ask you this: if that were true, would that change your mind?
I wasn't even thinking about him dying.
But Carolyn
when I
shot
said it.
him, right, and then shot the kids, and then shot herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Much rather shoot myself. Than
the
drink
extent
cyanide,
to
by the
which, I don't know. That's just.
Are you kidding me? Cyanide is freaking basically. You know what cyanide does to your cells? It deprives them of oxygen.
What do you think I'm saying?
Yeah, he's not arguing that.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm just.
I thought you were saying I don't know.
No,
I don't know which one I'd rather do.
No, I'm saying like I don't. So, by the way, I think they're bringing back firing squads.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Thanks to Malcolm.
I think Malcolm had a big part of it.
I love how you always have like 3 or 4 things
There's
that you
7
come back
things.
to
There's 7
all
things.
the time.
There's 7 things. 7 things going on in my brain. That's one of them. No, I'm the conversation with Rem is that I think he really truly believed it at the end. Or I don't know. You could definitely.
I think he believed elements of it. I think he believed in reincarnation. I think he believed in socialism. I don't know that he believed in the suicide outside of the fact that he did it, and it might have been a command and I didn't. But I know for a fact
the whole point with the suicide is that it's a revolutionary suicide.
I know for a fact he abused the ends justify the means.
Yes.
And I know he knows, and I know he knows it was evil innate. Like, no matter what, you can't justify without knowing and having a conscience on some of those issues that he did.
Yeah, he calls it a revolutionary suicide. And the idea is that they're going to come and kill us. They're going to take our kids.
Yeah.
They're going to make them capitalists.
Yeah.
They're going to do these things. We can't let them do that. We need to kill ourselves now so that we can come back later as more enlightened and impact.
Yeah, the paranoia and fear plays into this because now you've got people who you've given a little bit of love to, and you're starting to tell them that the enemy is way worse than anything we're going to do, no matter what we do. Mm-hmm. So, like, we can have terrible living situation. You don't even have a toilet lid or toilet paper, barely any food, but this is just wait. If they catch you, if the CIA gets you or anyone else, it's going to be way worse.
Exactly. It's worse than if you kill yourself right now.
Right.
Something I just thought of, you said the cyanide, how bad it is. The ground that they died on, where the body's decomposed, still hasn't grown anything.
Well, as of the writing of this.
2014 is when she went back, no?
That might be
She wrote like an afterword after that even.
Yeah.
I mean, that's wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
Because of the cyanide?
Because of the cyanide, yeah. Yeah.
I do have a hidden gem.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Page 150. This is the cover thread. I think instead of hidden gem, we should just say covered thread because that's what it's become at this point. But she talks on page 150 about how when she first got there, it reminded her of the television show MASH.
Yeah.
Which, we covered Alan Alda's
Alan
book.
Alda.
That was your guys' favorite book that we've ever covered.
Hey,
that
man.
is not my favorite book we've ever covered. Not even.
Never
not
have
even
your dog
top
stuff.
10.
That was when I
Never
still
have
read
your
the
dog
books.
stuff.
I did enjoy it, but it was not even top 10.
I agree. I mean, it's not, but it's a fun book, though.
It's rating time, boys. What do we got? What's your rating?
Oh, I haven't thought about this.
I'm a solid 8. My 9s are reserved for books like Boys in the Boat that I can read over and over again.
You know, that when we were asked at the live recording favorite episodes, I copped out and said, hey, dude, Boys in the Boat's probably one of my favorite recordings anyway.
Dude, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was probably our best, like the first best book that we did.
That's one of the only books I've reread in my adulthood.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't reread a lot of books.
I think 8.5. Yeah.
Don't hate it.
I am an 8.1. I think it's mandatory reading at some point for people in their lives.
I don't know why we wouldn't teach this in history. There's so much to learn from it.
Agreed.
It's a Man's Search for Meaning type to learn. I mean, yeah, very, very important. I just
my kids saw me reading this, like Reed picked it up. I think I told everybody this on one of the episodes, but he had already read the back. And he was like, "What's this about?"
Mm-hmm.
And so I was telling him, and he was like, "Man, that's terrible." I was like, "Yeah, I think you should read that someday."
Yeah.
What's next? We got Founder. And then
this week we're doing Founder.
Marcus, you've brought up what movie? The singer that you and Jessica.
Are we gonna do that?
I'm just saying it's not on the list, but it sounds like we need to put it on the list.
Dude, I love that movie.
Okay, what's the name of it?
Bob Dylan.
Complete Unknown.
Complete Unknown. Bob Dylan.
I watched Marty Supreme.
Oh, is that any good?
It's not 9 Oscars,
this is
good, but it's worth watching.
Here's what I heard about
Ping
Marty
pong?
Supreme
Ping
was
pong?
that the soundtrack has the wrong decade. And I'm never going to be able to watch that movie now that I know that.
Well, I mean,
I'm not going to be able
that's
to.
like A Knight's Tale.
Was it a directing choice, or was it?
I don't know the answer, but
I think you're viewing it as they're idiots. What if it was?
It was
a
somebody I
choice?
trusted in terms of film.
Yeah, I don't
Right.
think that should be a reason
Right.
you don't watch
But
it.
if it was-
your own decisions.
I will watch it, but when I watch it, that's what I'm thinking about.
It's exactly what you would expect a modern Oscar movie to be. Like the reason, like,
Guys.
you know what makes an Oscar flick these days.
Okay.
Could we become snooty anti-Oscar?
Oh,
podcast?
100%.
Let's do it.
100%.
We're gonna create our own.
Maybe-
You know, Rem, you're
Worth
big
watching.
on.
I
you're big
love-
on attending other people's events. How much they suck. We need to create our own film festival.
Here's what I hate though. Here's the problem.
Free popcorn.
I feel like
for
every
everyone.
time that I
You have to add
am
your own butter, though.
excited about a movie and neither of you guys have seen it, you guys hate it.
It's gonna be hard
That's
to mess
because you
that
pick
one
bad
up.
movies. Pick a good movie that you're excited about.
Screw you. I think that it gets over promoted by me is the problem.
Well, no, it's got
because
music.
I
it's
go
got a
into
generation
this
music we
not
like.
knowing necessarily what to expect.
I will tell you that I am consistent to myself. There's nothing that's going to make me like Violent Night because it's trash.
Oh, get out of here.
I like the acting of David Harbour, and I think there's a funny line or two, but the other actors destroy it for me. I'll give you a good example. There's a weird movie that what's her face?
Tick Tick Boom.
Kristen Bell. Kristen Bell is in this weird dark comedy.
Okay.
There's no good reason you don't like Tick Tick Boom.
It's good, not great.
Yeah, exactly.
Good, not great. Kristen Bell's in this weird dark comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate it for what it is, but it's not. I'm not going to tell you guys, you got to go watch this. And that's what he did with Violent Night. And he's not even listening, so he can't even defend himself.
I freaking love Violent Night.
You can see my point.
It was during Christmas season for. There's only so many.
Yeah, it's fine.
There's only so many.
There's so many more.
Yeah.
Listen, we each get a Christmas pick. That was my pick. I'm going
Here-
to try to find a worse Christmas movie.
We'll
for
bring
you
back.
next year.
We'll bring back a. Since nobody's listening anymore, we'll bring back an all-timer. What's the name of the movie again? The Bob Dylan movie?
A Complete Unknown.
Can we Netflix and chill?
Oh.
See you next time.